Hello, hello, hello. I'm early, ain't I? It shows that I'm here and I'm ready to go to work. That's what it means. Hey, Miss Dolores. Hello there. How are you? Hey, Evangelist. Hello there. Hello, Carla. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Lolita. Hello there. I hope you guys are having a great Friday. Thank you so very much. I'm going to try to make it to Vigo today. I'm going to try to make it to Vigo today. Did you put in a badge for my family, Miss Carla? I wasn't sure if that was you. I seen a request to join my family and their name was Carla, but I was not sure if it was you or not. Was it you that requested to join? Hey, Casper. Hello, I sure did. Okay, well, request it again because I wasn't sure. And I'm really like, they'll tell you, like, I don't be approving everybody unless I know who they are because people be crazy. So, just go ahead and put in for it again, and I'll make sure that you get your badge. Hey Deja. Hello there. How are you? And I think also, I think I seen, hey Mr. Soso. I think I seen that Lolita had asked too, but I think that my co-founder had denied it because he didn't know who she was. Hey Riley, hello there. How are you? So either Lolita and Carla, if you guys are still interested in joining, just request your badge again, and then I'll make sure that I do approve it. Okay. Alrighty, guys. I told you guys that I've been over here. The Amish has had me in a chokehold. I've learned a lot about their culture within the last like week or so. That's what type of vibe I've been on, like really getting an understanding of the Amish of the Amish country and how they operate and how they evolved and the crime rates and all of that is what I've been into. But there was a case that I've always been keeping an update on is one that happened last year, which is kind of crazy because the person that did it is not actually Amish. But if you guys did not know, they still get services and things by people that are not Amish, and they also connect with other people that are not Amish as well, which gives them access to Amish country. Very peculiar people. They are. I've actually seen them when I used to be a barista, and they used to come to the where I worked at, and they're very. You can tell that they really don't understand us, guys. They really don't. Like, they look at us as if we're like we're the bad kids, like we are tainted. That's how I feel when they look at it. Like, we're tainted and we are, but they also don't understand. You've never seen an Amish person ever in person? Yeah, they're very you can tell that they don't understand us as regular people, and just like we don't understand them. So they don't know how to really communicate with us. They don't know how to, and they can, at some time, they can seem a little bit intimidated by us if we try to approach them in any way because they're very peculiar. Like Miss Dolores said, they're very peculiar people. They're very timid because of how they have dressed us up to be. We are the sinners to them. We are the Lord's sinners. If you want me to just put it in any type of way, we as English people are the sinners of the world. And the things in which we partake in are we're not supposed to be doing. And how we function on the day to day is a bunch of sin. That's just how they look at it. But if you understand their culture and how they landed here, okay? So they actually came here. Many of them started had moved into PA, Utah, Ohio. So it's different areas in which they're really, really known to be as if they don't sin. But in their to them, they're more pure than us. So to get an understanding of the Amish is to know how they got here. So they have more so of a German background. When they come here, they could then take on something that is called a Pennsylvania Dutch. Basically, it's their language, but also English language at the same time, kinda, sorta. And it's their own thing and their own way of doing things. But they also still do things as if they're living within the 1800s. So they still use oil lamps. Many of them, you also have different types of Amish too. So you have your Mennonite Amish, which is more so they're more modern. So they do use cell phones and they do use electricity and they do drive cars and things of that nature. But then you have the more old version of the Amish, which is more strict. They don't partake in any of those things. They don't use electricity, they don't use cell phones, they don't, do a lot of stuff. And they do a lot of things handmade and stuff like that, but it's very different. And from what I'm learning is to be Amish, it all depends on where you're from. So Pennsylvania Amish may be very different from Ohio Amish, or depending on what level of Amish you were a part of would determine the rules in which was followed. So it's not like they all follow a rule book to how things are supposed to be done, because it all depends on which Amish you're from. And it may vary and it may change. How women dress may change, things of that nature. So it's just one of those, they're heavy, and they can build houses. Like I've seen videos where it's 200 Amish people moving a house. And I'm not talking about with a car or with a truck. They're actually 200 Amish men inside of the building, okay, the house, the trailer, and they're actually lifting it with their bare hands to move it. So that's how they operate. Women are the homemakers, the baby makers, and the men are out in the fields and doing things of that nature. Women do too, but it's more so of the men. Women, they also have a chance when they turn 18 years old to be able to decide if they want to go English, which is us, okay? And if they don't decide that, um, they will stay and be Amish. They can also be shunned, what we're going to talk about a little bit later, because I wanted to know how something was going to operate when it pertains to this case. But shunning basically means that the church goes against them if they go against any of their rules and beliefs, and they are shunned away from the church. The Amish family, they're not able to be on the country and things of that nature. The family, even sometimes the family will no longer talk to them anymore because they're shunned. So that's what it's like over there. Very self-reliant. Yeah. They make a lot of babies. Blood to Blood too. My favorite show, Escaping the Amish. Have you seen the updates of them? The updates to them are kind of crazy. Like they do have a lot of kids, but one of them got hooked on drugs. Rebekah, she's still with that guy that she was with. Um a lot of them they become very much, because they're trying to adjust to the normal world. So they have to go through the bumps and bruises of that. So one of the girls from Breaking Amish, she's like still trying to get off drugs, but they said she's been sober for about 2 years now. I forgot which one it is. Um, but yeah, they're still out and about. Most of them are on TikTok. Yeah, most of them are on TikTok and they still make videos. Some of them are not. So Rebekah, she really doesn't do TikTok a lot, but she will pop up here and there. But yeah, that's what their lives are like. I used to watch that every day actually. But to really see outside of like TLC's version of Breaking Amish, to really understand what I was watching then is a little bit different. Alrighty, guys. So this case here is it happened last year, okay? And it is the murder of Rebekah Byler, and she was from Sparta Township in Pennsylvania, okay? And she was an Amish woman, and she was pregnant, and she was killed by this man. Mr. Shawn Cranston is his name. So on February the 26th of 2024, the arrest was made for her murder. And Rebekah was 23 years old and she was 6 months pregnant at the time. Okay. So Rebekah Byler was a 23-year-old Amish woman from Sparta Township, which is in Crawford County, Pennsylvania. And she was discovered to be deceased in her home on February the 26th of 2024. So she was, in fact, 6 months pregnant with her third child. Her husband, Andy Byler, had returned home from a job outing, accompanied by a friend, and found Rebekah to be unresponsive in the living room of their family home. So, two of the couple's children, which was ages 2 and 3, were inside of the home at the time when the woman was discovered, as well as when it happened. So, following a deep investigation, the Pennsylvania State Police did arrest 52-year-old Shawn Cranston of Corey, Pennsylvania. and he was arrested on March the 1st of 2024, and he was formally charged and arraigned for her death. Okay. So here's how everything happened. This is the timeline of events. Hey, Johanna. Hi. Hi, Elizabeth. So Andy Byler had left his home for a roofing job. And then Rebekah had remained at the house with the kids. So at around 12:26 p.m., Andy had returned with a family friend to find Rebekah to be unresponsive. So at 12:36 p.m., a 911 call was then placed, reporting that he found his wife. So at 1:45 p.m., Rebekah was pronounced deceased by the Crawford County Coroner's Office. So she was found on her back in a pool of blood. Injuries did include severe neck wounds as well as scalping type injuries as well. That was later confirmed to be gunshot wounds. So this happened at the 21,000 block of Fish Flats Road in Sparta Township. Now, keep in mind, for those of you guys that don't know, okay, when it comes to Amish country, um, their neighbors are typically Amish, and it's acres and acres of land that is nothing but Amish people. Now, this guy here, he's not Amish, but he did have access to the Amish country due to work services, because sometimes people that are considered English to them, us, do services for them, whether it be roofing and different types of things. They do utilize our services. Um, so um, they did find her white bonnet, all right, a broken knife handle blade, as well as a bone handled knife. 3 firearms was also recovered, which was a 22 caliber rifle and 2 shotguns, 2 spent 22 calibers and 1 6.5 Creedmoor casing, as well as DNA swabs, cigarette butts, black hair, and empty soda bottle was also found at the scene. So evidence also indicated the use of both a firearm and a sharp object for this homicide. The 2 young children in the home were unharmed but also found safe. So as for his profile, okay, he's 52, and he lives about approximately 12 miles away from the Byler residence. So he is a truck driver, and he is known to the Amish community as a driver for hire. So he basically was utilized to pick up things, and maybe it be woods and things of that nature. He would use his services to drop off and pick up certain items for the Amish country. He's also affiliated with the War Dogs Motorcycle Club, serving as a sergeant of arms or sergeant at arms for the motorcycle club. And y'all already know the culture of that. So on March the 1st of 2024, outside of the Dollar General near his residence, he was located. So evidence that tied him to the crime scene was some Nike Air Force One sneakers and the footprints that was found on the scene, the black gloves that was also found in the trash that matched a piece of glove that was found at the crime scene. Okay. And they found it in his trash, actually. The red Jeep Patriot that was also seen on the scene, which is crazy because he actually used a vehicle that many of them were accustomed to. So you got to think to yourself that this is an area where everybody knows everybody. They know who is coming, who's not coming. They are accustomed to everything. So the fact that he thought that he was going to be able to do a crime in the same vehicle in which they're accustomed to is crazy to me, but he did. They did have videos on the scene showing the movements consistent with the timeline of the homicide as well. Fire and smoke also observed after the Jeep had returned to Cranston's home suggested that there was some evidence that he tried to destroy. So Byler's 3-year-old son had told the police that a man in sneakers in a green truck, a green truck, had harmed his mother. Okay, suspicious person also matching Cranston's description had approached Byler's home 2 weeks before the murder as well. So basically seeing him at the residence prior to. Okay. So neighbors also witnessed a red vehicle near Byler's home as well multiple times before the incident. Amish neighbors had reported that Cranston acted very oddly, wandering near their properties armed with a weapon, inquiring about their church at some point in time prior to her death. So it looks like that while he was out here working for these people, he was also preying on them at the same time. He had already previously began to act really weird prior to actually doing this. He was actually in the area doing work for some neighbors, and that's how he came upon Rebekah and her family, which is crazy. So, when it comes to the evidence that was recovered, okay? So the broken knife, of course, they did find the orange handle, a handle blade that was connected to the knife in which he used, as well as the gun and these swabs as well. His shoes, of course, is what helps with this as well. Now, here's my thing with this. I'm really curious to know how is the Amish going to respond because there's Lord, my thing is going off. I wanted to know how the Amish is going to respond to this because the way they operate, it's very likely that whoever is affiliated with this guy, they can basically be put out the Amish because this woman lost her life, even though they're not a part of it, even though they possibly didn't know that he was going to do this. I'm trying to turn 1 second, guys. Notifications is going off crazy right now. Even though they didn't know that he was going to do this, they still will find a way to basically, hold them accountable for this man's crimes. They're probably going to try to keep it quiet. I don't think so. It's too loud to be quiet at this point. It's too loud to be quiet. The only thing that I would see them doing is that the neighbors that was affiliated with this man, they would try to basically, put them out the Amish and they would no longer be a part of the Amish because they honestly don't really like to intertwine with us as much. They don't. They don't like to intertwine with us as much. And I guarantee you it was some things that this man was doing prior to all of this that they should have been aware of. He was already acting weird way before this even happened. He created an alibi, bringing his friend back home to discover the body. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But you talking about the husband? So the husband, he hasn't been charged or anything like that. They haven't said that the husband knew anything about this. They haven't said, at least. Okay. But this man is the prime person as of right now. How can anyone kill a woman in front of her little children? I really, honestly, y'all, I think this is bigger than what we know. But because the Amish is so zip tight and because they really don't like to put their business on the front street, I don't think that we're ever going to really get a full understanding of who this man is and why he was there or who he was connected to. And it's because they keep everything so zip tight. If you notice, I always have a picture of the victim. I haven't showed one here. When this incident first happened, and this is how I really know that this case is going to be zip tight threw away. Okay. When this first happened, because the media did not give a image of the victim, do you guys know who they thought was the victim? Rebekah from Escaping Amish from TLC. Her picture, if you look up this case, Rebekah from Escaping Amish from TLC is being listed as the victim. And it's because her name is Rebekah. So in the very beginning stages of this crime, they thought that Rebekah from Escaping Amish was deceased. I am serious. So me being me, I went to go see maybe they put out a correct picture. I have not still seen a correct picture of this woman that has lost her life. I saw some pictures, but what I didn't want to do is put up the wrong picture because there's already been a confusion happening from the gate. So we will never truly know why this man had access because for the husband to leave, okay, so the husband left the house. So the husband left. Let's look at this timeline right quick. So Andy had left the house for roofing. He returned home at 12:26 p.m. 12:26 p.m. he returns back home. What type of job were you doing, Andy? Now I see why they over here saying, well, he got an alibi for himself. Lord, what type of so at 12:26, Andy Byler, something isn't right. 12:26 p.m. Andy Byler and a family friend returned home and discovered Rebecca to be unresponsive. 12:36, a 911 call was placed by a family friend. At 1:45, the coroner pronounced her to be deceased. There was 2 search warrants that was happening on that same day at 3 p.m. February 28th, the body was released to the funeral home and a GoFundMe was launched by the Byler family. March 1st, Cranston was arrested. Hmm. The problem in their community will only get worse if they continue to cover up or keep crime private. And that is a well-known thing. There is what people don't understand is there is more murders in the Amish country than you guys think. There are more murders that go even that's never even announced that you guys never even see or hear about. I think the only reason that this one hit us at our on our side is because he's not Amish. But when it's Amish murder, we don't hear about it. Sometimes nobody is even ever arrested. It is swept, and it's because they are so secluded in their own country, in their own area, to where if someone dies and a crime happened, it's easier for them to sweep it away as if it never happened. It's a lot of murders on Amish country. And so the husband leaves, he comes back. I would love to know what time he left the house because if he returns in the afternoon, he possibly left early in the morning. But for this guy to know that she was home alone, either he is accustomed to their schedule and has been watching them for a while because he was already doing work for neighbors is what they're saying. I have I have not seen anything where they say that he was actually doing work for for the Bylers themselves, but he was doing work for neighbors. There's a lot of scandal that happens in Amish country. So, for example, I've even seen stories where Amish men are caught with English women. They're caught with English women, and either the English women husbands find them or their husbands find out that they're sleeping with and it goes left. I even seen that before where it's some stuff that goes on. They're very scandalous. Yeah, in in the end of in wait, in the of the day, at the end of the day, roofers don't just come home. They take everything with them and leave early and come home late. Yeah, like what type of roofing were you doing that you are back at 12 p.m.? Roofers, they're and especially with the Amish. Let me tell you something. Here in in PA, even on the English side, they swear by Amish roofers here. If you ever go and look for a roofer, many people are going to say, get the Amish to do it. up here in PA, they love hiring the Amish. Not to mention it's because their work is quality, but their work is quick. But a lot of people utilize them. So it's not like that they're out here looking for work because work comes left and right for them. They love the Amish roofers here. They love them to do like building like little outhouse like sheds and things of that nature and quick builds. They can do that like this. They can do quick builds like it's nothing. I wouldn't even be surprised if he was able to lay a roof within hours. So I can't even say that that's too quick because they'll bring 20 men and lay a roof in hours with the Amish. So it wouldn't be abnormal for him to be able to get out early in the morning. And that's why I say, when did he leave? Because they can lay a roof in no time. They're very gifted, very, very gifted. But there has to be some form of scandal happening to where, because when I went to this man's TikTok, very peculiar guy. He has a wife too, by the way, or a girlfriend that was all up and down his TT and things of that nature when all of this happened. And you can often see him in the very same truck in which they seen on the surveillance footage going through Amish country. So it's not like that he was like an in and out type of guy. He was always on Amish country, which is kind of crazy. But I guess he built that rapport. Hey, OG, I guess he built that rapport with them. You know what I mean? To where he was someone that they often used because in the Amish country, they are able to, let's say this is an Amish country where they're not able to use vehicles. They are able to use someone else that use vehicles as long as they're not driving the vehicle. They can be in a vehicle as long as they're not the one behind the wheel type of thing. So they possibly used his truck to carry some of their goods, like wood and things of that nature when they were doing work. So he possibly did build a rapport with people that were in the area, but why did he choose this family is my biggest concern. There were so many other families. Why did he choose this one? And what I'm noticing is that in the articles, they're often saying he did work for the neighbors. I don't see anywhere where they're saying he did work for this particular family. I don't see anything like that. Don't go visiting the Amish compounds. Listen, because y'all know I said I wanted to visit. The only thing I can think of. Mm, mm, this I find it real weird. He go out to do some roofing with a friend, and when he returned, maybe the kids were his. I didn't think about that. And it's crazy. It's crazy that because you might be on a something like because that's the type of stuff that goes on over there. Y'all, you believe it or not, they be sneaking off with English people. They sneak off with English people. The husbands sneak off with English women. The Amish women sneak off with English men. It's like English people are the dirty sin. That's what we're like to them. Like we're the dirty sin. Like they know they cannot be a part of us, but is a part of them that admire the crazy things in which we do. And imagine a clean cut Amish girl getting with an Americanized English man, as if they call us. That man will show her a world that she's never experienced in her life before. Like, she and it's because they're so clean cut. They do that type of stuff. That's the English men and women are like a fetish to them, y'all. They're like a fetish. They are. Like we're a fetish to them. Like they really see us as we're the sin that they love to hate type thing. Hmm. Oh, what if she was pregnant with the third, but what if the third wasn't his? Wasn't the dad? What if the third wasn't like why the get into it? Hold on, y'all. What if while he was while the husband was going to go do roofing, what if she was over there being with this man and that third one is actually his? It's a lot of scandal. You got to think about that when you think about the Amish country, guys, because he knows that this woman is home alone by herself. Like he knows it. He knew that. He knew that the woman was home alone. Why did he choose her? I hope that this baby wasn't this man's and she was over there dipping and diving over here with Mr. Shawn Cranston. I hope that wasn't what was going on. You got to think about that type of stuff when it comes on with these. They look innocent. Them Amish people, they'll trick you. With me looking into them within the last like week or so, guys, I'm learning that they're not as innocent as they look. They look so clean and well kept and so godly. You know, they wouldn't sin or they wouldn't do any. But what I've learned in in my research and in my digging is that they're not as clean and pure as we think. They're kind of dirty. Something is definitely fishy. They look so innocent, but not. They look so innocent, and the women look so well kept and pure. You know, they look so pure, like and if you ever have seen them talk, like I've seen them talk in person, it's like a whisper. How are you? And if you wave to them, it's like a, and then they whisper to each other. The English people. That's how they talk. So everything is so peculiar, and you know, as I said, most innocent looking housewives are 304s. I love y'all. It's Friday. Listen, we had such a hard show yesterday. I said I'm gonna pull out something that we can kind of like, dig in and have a little playtime in because yesterday was heavy. Let me tell you something. Them long dresses and them white hats don't fool me. Them long dresses and them white hats. I seen a TikTok video where they were in the middle of Walmart and the horse and buggy was shaking back and forth. You seen nobody, but the horse and buggy was going like this. Skirt, 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 in the middle of the Walmart parking lot. Who was in there? And why couldn't it be done on Amish country? It make me feel like that it was an English man in there on that buggy. Okay? So they got to be able to hop, skip, and jump in places in which nobody would think. And that horse and buggy was shifting and turning, baby, in the middle of the parking lot. But you did not see anybody, but the only thing was moving was the buggy. The horse was just sitting there. But the buggy was doing a bunch of shaking and turning and twisting. The Amish was having fun. Yeah. So they're not as innocent as we think they are. They're just a community that exists within us. Like they're here, but they're so secluded and they're in their own world that they can get away with a lot of things because we have in our brains that the Amish is so clean and so pure and so well kept that they would never do such a thing. There's no way that we would see a Amish person in the middle of Walmart fornicating on the back of the horse and buggy. We wouldn't think that. You wouldn't think that. There's no way you would think that these well-kept women that are saving their lives for Christ in Amish world. and they live their lives in the 20th century. You would never think that you would see them. So if you was to see a horse and buggy twisting and turning in the middle of a parking lot, you would think that the buggy is broke. You would automatically think that. But but you would never think that there's an Amish girl possibly in there with an English man sinning. If the buggy is rocking, don't come knocking. That because that buggy was show rocking. It was rocking. Because every time I look into cases, I also do like just to kind of understand the culture and character of certain things. And I ran across. I said, "Is that the buggy is the buggy is buggying in the middle of Walmart?" So I think that this story here is a little bit more twisted than what we can imagine, but because they are so to themselves and their secrets are secrets, and we're just the English people trying to get into their business, we would never truly know if there was some scandal going on here. Because why did this man choose this family? And why did the husband leave but come back so kind? It's kind of quick. He had to leave at old dark early to come back at 12. And then when he does come back, his children are home there, but his wife is deceased. And you mean to tell me in a country where everybody knows everybody, the neighbors are part of the same culture as you, nobody heard a gunshot go off? A couple, by the way. And nobody seen this man speed off into the dirt and dust until 12 p.m. when the husband comes home? No, I don't believe that. Absolutely not. Mm-mm. No. Unless you guys are hearing gunshots every day out there in Amish country. I would think that if you're out in Amish country and you hear gunshots, you're going to think something's wrong because that's not something that you guys hear on the regular, unless that's something that you guys hear on the regular. The Amish follow one rule most Christians never follow: listening to and making and spreading gossip. They do. See, they they operate different when because their gossip, it goes no further than them. Us, we gossip, we got to go tell her, him, them, she, him. We got to go all over to tell everybody, not them. Their gossip do not cross out the country. So believe me, there are whispers in Amish country about what Shawn was doing over here. It's just that it ain't coming out here to us. So we ain't gonna never know what really happened with Shawn Cranston and what made him choose this family or anything. We're never gonna know. I would be really surprised if anybody is even helping with the investigation for real, or even having being witnesses because they don't really like to talk to us about anything. So I can only imagine what the investigation looks like. I can only imagine. I'm really surprised that they was able to get surveillance footage. I personally know a old 304s that relocated and became so-called housewives. Why do you what's up with y'all in this 304 behavior today? What is up with y'all in this what's up? What's up? What y'all got going on? Y'all trying to call the Amish people 304s. Well, I haven't seen if like easy. Look at Casper. I haven't seen. Do y'all think Amish people got prostitutes? I don't think they got prostitutes, y'all. I haven't seen that in my investigations, in my culture and character investigations. I haven't seen if they have a culture of prostitution out there. I don't think that they have that out there. I don't think that I don't think At least they may not be paid because, they get married young out there, guys, and they have to find a husband. Gotta call a spade a spade. They just do it different. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think Amish has 304s. And what if they do and we don't know? What is a 304? So 304 is basically it's a prostitution term. And they use this term because if you look at your phone, 4 and O and 3 spells hoe backwards. So it's basically 4 and O and 3, but they turn it into letters. So the 4 will be a H, the O will be a O, and the 3 will be a E. That's what it means. I learned that from Bigo. Bigo has taught me about hoes. I didn't know much about it and what I didn't really know a lot about hoeing and prostitution until Bigo. But yeah, Bigo taught me that. So I've learned about a lot of stuff from there when it comes to that in the calculator. Yes. So yes, that's what it is. Turn your phone upside down and then, yeah, you will see it. That's all. I learned that from Bigo. that's that's what it means, y'all. But yeah, so I don't think they have I just think cuz when they turn so in order for them to find like spouses and stuff, they court each other. It's called courting. Okay. When they find someone that they like, it's called courting. And then when they begin to court each other, they can sleep in a room together, but it's a board in the middle of the bed because until they're married, they're not supposed to have any type of engagements with each other. So in the courting phases, they will sleep in a room together, but there's a board in the middle of the bed so that they don't do anything. And they're not supposed to engage in anything sexual until after marriage. So I don't think that they have a 304 culture there. What I do think that they have is people who engage in secreted 304 behavior. Yeah, old beeper code 143. Yeah. Yeah, right. I think theirs is more secreted. I don't think that you have I don't think that you have Amish prostitutes because they're for Christ. They're for Christ. They're living their life like Mary. It's called spouse swapping. They do that. So how wife swap is that a thing? See, I haven't seen that in Amish country. Do they swipe? They don't wife swap, do they? I don't think they do wife swapping. Yes, they do. Because they said that he was over there asking them about their culture and things of that nature and how the church operates. They said that he was walking around the Amish country asking how the church, how the church goes and all of that. So wait a second. Y'all think he was possibly swapping out? Maybe that's why they don't leave their little community. Happy wife, happy life. Some of them do leave though, but it's really rare. I wonder, was he planning on to become Amish, right? So they said that the Amish neighbors have reported that Cranston had acted oddly, wandering their property armed and inquiring about their church. I would love to know what that question was. Hmm. I wonder, was he asking them a question about marriage or, you know what I mean? What was he asking them? We'll never know because this is Amish. That's where the real tea at. The real tea is over there in Amish country. They got more secrets than we do. Hmm, I think I want to go. I think that if I go there, y'all, I'll be able to pick up on the tea. I'll have my little notepad. Seen John over there with Elizabeth. You know, y'all know I'm nosy, very secretive. I think I want to go and see what it's like. Like, do I see anybody swapping out? Hmm, sticky situation. It's a sticky life. Huh? Stay away, Savvy. You know I'm nosy. I do want to go and see what they're like, though. I really want to go to Amish country. I do. I want to visit the Amish country, y'all. Like, I really do, really bad. Like, I do. I want to see what they got going on. Jim Bob and Rebecca. You know, all of them have the same names. Rebecca and Jim Bob and what is it? They named their children after the Bible. Elizabeth and Nathaniel. And what is that other one? They all of them have the same names. Savage RoyalT reporting live, but they'll block cell phone signals. Imagine me being live. And my whole signal go out. Oh no, baby. Uh-uh. I would gag. Oh no. Let us know if you come across any 304s. Let me tell y'all something. If I see an Amish girl standing on a corner in Amish country, I don't know what I would do with myself. If I see a random Amish girl, because what if they got like, what if on the outside we see them well dressed, but when you get on Amish country, they got like, oh no, what if they're dressed up on the corner like that? If I see an Amish girl tooted up on a corner in Amish country, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. Little Elizabeth is out there in the hood with her tooted to the street. Elizabeth, I thought you were married. She's out here being a Jezebel spirit. So there's Amish girls with Jezebel spirits. Huh. And you call us the sinners? At least we're not out here calling ourselves Elizabeth and Jim Bob and Nathaniel, and we're out here dressed up as if we're saints and we're out here. No, you guys may be worse than us. But I'll let y'all know how this happens. Bigo, I am on my way with you guys. Apparently, hip hop is under fire right now. Okay. First of all, Yellow Beezy has been arrested for the murder of Mo3. Then we're gonna cross over to LA, where Big U has been arrested for RICO. Which I'm not surprised because I keep telling y'all, okay? I don't know what set y'all claiming. I don't know what gang y'all with. Why do y'all want to be viral thugs? You cannot be viral and a thug. Those two don't go together on Donald Trump's internet. The moment that y'all do a crime, y'all come right to Donald Trump's internet and y'all tell us what you did, who shot who was on the scene, who sold what, who ran away, who talked to this, on this phone call to this person, hop on a podcast, and then you wonder why we have RICO cases popping out because you guys are trying to be gang leaders, gang members, and influencers at the same time. You cannot do both of them. Okay? You cannot be a thug and an influencer at the same time. They don't go together. They don't go together. That's like oil and water. So I am not surprised about any of this because the first thing that you guys have been doing is going on podcasts and doing interviews. I have heard about more murder on podcasts than I've heard from the DA's office. So we're going to be getting into that today. on the Bigo side of things about Mo3, Yella Beezy, who was Mo3's friend, along with Big U and everything that's going on out there in LA with the Rolling 60s, which is also including the death of Nipsey Hussle, with many people saying that Big U knew about Nipsey Hussle's death and things of that nature. We're going to get into all of that today on Bigo. Okay. Make sure that you guys definitely tune in. Tune in, tune in, tune in. I will be over there at 11 o'clock today. All right. We got about 12 minutes before I got to get ready. Alrighty, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Y'all not Gustavo Fring, Breaking Bad. That's a movie. I don't know nothing about it. I don't know why they don't. You wait till I get over here on Bigo. I don't know why they go over there talking. When I say I can pull up so many interviews from podcasts of gang members going on podcasts doing interviews about murder, drugs, and whatever, as if the police ain't watching. I think they be thinking that the police don't have internet or something. I really think that they think that. So we're gonna get into that today. Okay. You guys have a great, 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 great day. Have a great weekend. And I will see you guys Monday. And thank you for watching True Crime with Savage RoyalT.